guys, I'm trainer Lindsay, the head trainer and nutritionist here at Ideal Fit. Today I'm going to be sharing some form tips for one of my favorite glute building exercises, the hip thrust. And I'm going to show you a couple different variations to do this exercise as well. So let's go on over to the weights. All right, you guys, before we get started, I need to tell you my 2 favorite glute activation tips, okay? You need to do this before any glute or even any leg exercise that you do. So first thing, you want to focus on contracting through the glutes. So everybody stand up and do this with me, okay? Put your hands right here and squeeze and flex through the glutes. You want them to feel nice and hard, okay? That's how you want them to feel at the top of each hip thrust, all right? My other tip, and this is going to be a little weird, so hear me out here. I want you to think about a nail in the floor, and you're actually going to grab it with your glutes and squeeze and pull it out of the floor. I know, it's crazy, but that one tip will literally transform your glute training, okay? So any glute exercise, it's all about the hip hinge. So think about hinging through the hips, pushing the hips back, and then squeezing, grabbing that nail, squeezing as you push your hips forward, okay? You don't ever wanna hyperextend and push forward through your hips. It's gonna put too much strain on your lower back. So think about that nail and squeezing the glutes as we do these hip thrusts, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna sit down on the floor in front of a barbell, and these can get kind of heavy. So what I like to do is take a rolled up mat and use it as a pad right on top of my hips, okay? So you've got your pad, you're gonna roll this weight, got the barbell with your plates on the side, roll it up onto your lap. Okay, you want your shoulder blades to be nice and square on the bench, okay? Pull those legs in. Your feet are gonna be about shoulder distance apart from each other. You're gonna push your hips up. Okay, right here, your first time I want you to pause, squeeze through those glutes, make sure they're nice and activated. You're gonna come down, keeping your core nice and tight, grab the nail, squeeze your glutes, and push it up, pulling that nail out of the floor. You guys, I know it's weird, but try it. It will transform your glute training, okay? Up and squeeze, and slowly lower, up and squeeze, slowly lower. So a couple mistakes that people make. I've seen people when they try and go really, really heavy, they don't let their glutes come down very low. You gotta get a good range of motion, okay? So here's a bad rep right here. Let me show you. People will just do little pulses right here, okay? You wanna get a good range of motion all the way down and squeeze all the way up, okay? The other thing people do when they get too heavy is they don't come high enough. So they'll stop right here and come back down. You wanna come all the way up and squeeze, push those hips up as high as you can and back down, okay? So you can do all sorts of different rep ranges with the hip thrust. It's beneficial to do some with really heavy weight and lower reps. It's also great to do it with lighter weight and higher reps, like 20 to 25. You can even put a booty band around your knees, and that's gonna make it even harder. All right, my other favorite variation for the hip thrust is to actually do it with a single leg. So I like to get a dumbbell so I can elevate that foot so I have greater range of motion. So I'm gonna plant my foot right here on this dumbbell. Shoulder blades are still gonna be on the bench like before. Leg is extended. This is easier. Right here is a little bit harder, okay? So you're gonna come down, squeezing through that glute, push your hips up as high as they can. Make sure you keep the tension in your glutes and you're squeezing nice and hard between each rep. So it's down and squeeze. All the way down, good range of motion, good stretch, and squeeze. And squeeze. All right, you guys, so those are 2 of my favorite variations for the hip thrust, so make sure you're incorporating them into your leg days and your glute days. All right, you guys, I hope you loved that video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel by clicking on the little bell, and we will see you next time.